right, everybody. Good morning to you. Once again, we are about to bring you the Vanguard Fitness Hour with your host, Mr. Mario Koonce, the fitness guru. So y'all get ready. Today's topic will be fitness anytime, anywhere, for anyone. So y'all get ready for it. All righty. Here we go. We're going to let some of this music play for a little bit, y'all. We're going to bring them on exactly at 11 o'clock. Plus, I also like to try. And he does too. So this is his intro. This is his intro. Wait till you hear his outro. All right, everyone. Yes. Mr. Mario Koonce is in the house. Mario.
Hey, how you doing, show producer?
Hey, I'm doing my best, man. Trying to do something.
All right. That's great. Well, listen, I want to give a big shout out to all our listeners and viewers. Really appreciate you being here and spending your holiday time with us. A lot of you are, I know, are on vacation currently. So I appreciate the fact that you decided to tune into our show. We've got a lot of great information to give out. And as always, we got 20 pounds of fitness information, motivation, and inspiration to stuff into a 10-pound bag. So it's time to get going. First of all, I hope that you all enjoyed your holiday. All right. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. Yes. Happy holidays. I hope it was safe, enjoyable, healthy for each and every one of you. Hope you had a great time with family and friends, despite this being a very unusual time of year for us. 2020 has really been just like a wrecking ball. So the fact that we're here and we're in a sound state of mind and we're healthy and we're happy, that is definitely something to be grateful for. So I'm curious to know, hopefully you all did something that would kind of offset the effects that we're going through with this pandemic. And maybe you had to be a little creative. I know that some individuals utilized social media to gather with loved ones, particularly if you had any family members that fall within a high risk category. So older family members, individuals that may have compromised immune systems, perhaps diabetes, different things like that. So you might have to establish a little bit of creativity with that. So curious to know how you all did that, and hopefully whatever it was, it worked out. So if you did do something unique, I'd love to hear about it. So I'm going to, of course, give our contact information out because I'd like to keep in contact with our listeners, our viewers, and find out exactly what's going on in their lives. To that end, I'm going to share what I did, which was a bit unique and different. And it does have to do with nutrition a bit. For the first time, I had, as opposed to a turkey, the primary meal, which tends to be the focus of a lot of dinner tables, a capon. Now, a capon, a lot of people say some people might be familiar with it. Some people perhaps not. It's basically a cockerel, which is a young rooster. It's and the rooster, believe it or not, it has been castrated, either physically or chemically in some cases. Typically, it's a physical castration, and that improves the quality of the flesh and the meat. It gives you better flavor. It tends to be juicier. It is larger than a chicken. However, it's smaller than a turkey. So, it looks just like a miniature turkey, but it was outstanding. Now, of course, I was concerned about the nutritional content because I know that it is higher in fat content, but not significantly. In fact, I kind of broke it down before I decided that I was going to enjoy this as part of the meal. So a turkey, by comparison, 1 ounce of turkey equates to about 54 calories or 2.1 grams of fat, as opposed to a capon, which is in that same weight, 1 ounce. You're looking at about 64 calories and 3 grams of fat. So not a huge difference, 0.9 tenths of a gram difference in terms of fat content. The biggest change comes, however, in the price. It is fairly expensive. Capons run about $9.15 a pound on average. And the reason for this, it basically takes twice as long for a capon to reach market size, whereas a chicken or a turkey typically about 8 weeks, capons about 16 weeks. So that accounts for the price variation. But it was very good. It was something unique, something different that I did for Thanksgiving. And again, whatever we can do to keep ourselves in a positive mindset, even if it's something as simple as changing up a meal selection. I think it's an imperative that we do that, because we want to make sure that not only are our bodies fit, but our minds are as well. So moving on from that, one of the things that I'd like to do is share with you, what's going on in the news and in terms of fitness information and new discoveries and just general points of interest. And one that I did find, and I've actually utilized before, it's a reprinted article, but it's what to do when we overeat. Now, if you are like most individuals, when that holiday meal comes around, it's almost like the green light to eat as much as we can and drink as much as we can. And the downside of that is that feeling of being overly full. Okay, if we've passed our capacity, we are stuffed, we feel lazy and slow and sluggish. In some cases, individuals actually feel guilty about that. So there are some things that we can do to compensate for that when we do tend to overeat. And there are several different strategies. I want to take a few moments to go over some of those with you. The first one is relax. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself up about it. One over-the-top meal is not going to ruin your health or make or break you. All right. Also, when you have that guilt, typically what it does, it leads you to deny yourself. Okay, and when you deny yourself and you feel deprived, then you kind of have that urge to overcompensate by binge eating again, and you develop an unhealthy cycle. So instead, just take a moment to decide, what are you going to do differently the next time, particularly in the days that follow. All right, so that's the first step. Just kind of relax, take it easy, take a deep breath. It's going to be all right. Take a walk. Now, if you're, depending on what part of the country you're in, the weather might not participate for that. But there are options that you can make, changes that you can make to give you some alternatives that might still achieve the end that you're trying to do. And that is basically to burn off some calories. Okay, a nice little stroll kind of helps in digestion. It evens out your blood sugar levels, which is what you want to do. You want to avoid a blood sugar spike. If you are experiencing good weather in your part of the country, maybe a leisurely bike ride, something that is going to get the blood to your legs as opposed to your stomach, which is going to slow down your digestion. So talk about some physical activity. Get out for a walk. If you don't want to do it solo, maybe another family member or friend might be of benefit to you. The next, water. Drink water. Now, I'm not talking about chugging an entire liter of water until you feel sick or nauseous. You just want to sip on a cup of water, which equates to about 8 ounces. Okay, so sip on water, particularly after that big meal. It's going to help your body to get rid of excess salt that you've accumulated as opposed in your meal. It's also going to help to keep you from feeling constipated. So continue to drink water over the rest of the day to help keep yourself hydrated. So that's step or tip number 3. Next, although it may be tempting as all get out, try to lying down. Okay, usually what happens when we're stuffed, we feel like we've gone over the edge in terms of our eating. All we want to do is lay down. We want to sit on that couch. Resist the urge to do that. That means no naps. You want to, unless you can do some some of that standing up, okay, which probably isn't going to happen. So you want to avoid laying down and taking a nap. First, what happens is the consequence of that, when you do lay down and take that nap, you lose the opportunity to burn off some of those calories that you took in during your meal. You also, when you lie down with a full stomach, the food can oftentimes work its way back up. Okay, so if it can slow down digestion, this can bring on or worsen symptoms of acid reflux. Okay, so you want to avoid doing that. So just let that couch wait a little while until you had a chance to burn off some calories. Even if you're in the house, just walking around and doing dishes or putting things away or whatever the case might be. That could be a strategy that you can use to help to burn off those calories. All right. Skip the bubbles. What am I talking about with bubbles? I'm talking about carbonated drinks, your Pepsi, your Coca-Cola, your 7-Up, that sort of thing. Carbonated drinks when you're full, not a good idea. What happens when you consume carbonated beverages, you also swallow gas, and that can help to fill up your digestive system and make you feel even worse after a full meal. So until you have the opportunity to maybe burp some of that away or whatever the case might be. So you want to avoid the carbonated beverages at all costs. Again, go back to that earlier step, try water instead. Next, if you got a bunch of leftovers, all right, and some people are just not leftover people. I don't understand them. I love leftovers, but there are a lot of people that just don't do them. Consider giving some of those away. Okay, so it's going to you'll resist the urge, after that, maybe that second day or whatever, to binge eat again. So maybe get yourself some Tupperware bowls, some styrofoam containers, that sort of thing, if you got some leftovers, so that you can share those with other individuals, particularly in this time when you have individuals that may actually be in need. Some of those people might even be your neighbors. So that's a strategy that you can utilize. One of my favorites, work out after a big meal, after some time has gone by, because if you try and work out on an overly full stomach, it's not going to be a pleasant experience for you. But after some time has gone by, work up a real sweat. If you want to run or jog, lift some weights, shoot baskets. It's best to wait typically when you've got an overfilled stomach, after you've overeaten, 3 to 4 hours after you consume that big meal. So that might be a strategy that you want to take a look at and consider in order to burn off some of those calories. Okay. It may also help to jumpstart your metabolism and prevent constipation. Okay. Regular exercise is also going to help to control your mood and your hunger, so you're less likely to overeat in the future. Now, one of the biggest things that I used to use with family members after, before sometimes and sometimes afterwards, we'd have a turkey bowl. So we get, a bunch of the family members and friends, we gather, go down to the neighborhood park, and we play football and just had a ball. So it was a great opportunity to burn off those calories, stay fit and active, as opposed to just planting ourselves on the couch. Okay. Next strategy, plan your next meal. Okay. Now it's impossible to uneat that third slice of sweet potato pie. Okay. It's not going to happen, but you can prepare yourself so you don't overdo it next time and beyond. Okay. You want to choose low calorie recipes. Okay. Plan out your meals for the week. If you are an individual that has a little bit of skill in the kitchen, go ahead and pre-prepare those meals. Okay. Again, one of the benefits of that is you control everything, how the food is cooked, the seasonings that go in it, all those important factors that go into making your meals. Okay. If you need additional help, there's a lot of phone and computer apps that can help you do your meal planning, so that you're putting some thought and some consideration into the foods that you put into your body, because that's your fuel source. All right. You don't want to, just going back to that example I gave during the first show, garbage in, garbage out, GIGO, right? You want to make sure that you're fueling your body with what it needs to get through that day. Okay. Particularly after overeating. All right. So it's kind of like a lesson learned. Eat mindfully. What do I mean by eating mindfully? You want to try to look at eating as almost a kind of a meditation. Okay. Pay attention to the flavor, the feel, the texture, the color of your foods. All right. Think about the meal. Where was the food grown or made, or where was it processed? That sort of thing. How did you cook it? How was it prepared? Try to take small bites and chew well. All right. Particularly when we're hungry, a lot of times with Thanksgiving, this is the way it works in a lot of households. You've got people in the kitchen cooking, whether it's individual or it's a group project or whatever the case might be. Maybe have multiple people in the kitchen. It takes a little while before the food is ready, right? Most people, I'm not going to eat breakfast. I'm not going to have snacks during the day. I want to save my appetite for that meal. And when you do that, by the time that food rolls around, you're ready to tear into it. And a lot of times we eat too quickly. Okay, we don't chew thoroughly enough. We want to avoid doing that. So you want to stop from time to time and ask yourself, do you feel full? Okay, this can help you to eat less and feel more satisfied, because a lot of times we feel like This meal is here. I've been waiting for it. I want to eat all I can, and that pushes us over the brink and gives us that overfilled feeling. Okay, we've passed our point of being satisfied. Going back to that last point I mentioned, eat slowly. Okay, it can take around 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that it's full. There's a time gap in there, about 20 minutes. If you've already had too much in that first 10 minutes, you haven't given your brain enough time to figure it out. So give your brain the time that it needs. About half an hour later, you're sure to feel a bit uncomfortable when you go past that point. So you want to slow down. You might find that not only are you eating fewer calories, but you're also going to feel more satisfied. So kind of pace yourself. That plate isn't going anywhere, all right? Unless you're in prison or something, they give you a time limit. Try switching things up. And what do I mean by that? You can eat more food with less calories as you switch out foods and basically initiate a policy or a practice of substitution. Okay, so things like fatty meat or white breads or French fries, those sorts of things, you want to switch those items out for healthier choices. All right, so vegetables like your broccoli, yellow squash, asparagus, greens, whole grains are going to be better than white rice or pasta because they've got more protein, and protein is key. That's going to help us to build muscle tissue and help us to feel energized. That's going to help you feel satisfied longer because they're not empty calories. Okay, so an example of an empty calorie, I'm hungry, so I'm going to get a Snickers bar out of the machine. Okay, right then and there, it might feel like you've got that feeling of fullness or whatever, but those empty calories, number one, do they have very little, if any, nutritional content, but you're going to be hungry again a little later because the calories are not quality calories. And last point that I want to mention, if you often do this, if you often overeat, if it's something that's not just something that you do maybe over the holidays, if this is a regular practice, it might be time to seek help from a professional, all right? You could have what's considered to be a binge eating disorder. And if that's the case, that can be actually very serious. So you want to, and you might even be trying to hide that from others. That's usually a warning sign when you feel like you have to hide your condition or your symptoms or what you're going through from other individuals. You might feel ashamed or disgusted after you eat too much, or guilty. It might seem like you can't stop, even though you might want to. Over time, it can take a serious toll on your body. So you want to be very careful about that because your mental health can be affected as well. Treatment might be a valid option. Talk to your doctor if you are worried about this or if it's a concern for you. So you'll want to make sure that you're taking that seriously. It's not a joke that, oh, I overeat and it's funny, ha ha. You want to make sure that you take every precaution. So those are some tips and strategies that I wanted to provide for you if you do happen to overeat. And I think it's pretty applicable coming off of the biggest food holiday that we have here, at least in the United States. I know that there are other individuals that are listening from around the country, but here in the U.S., around Thanksgiving, oh man, we act a fool. So just something I want to share with you guys. All right. Today in fitness news, what do we have out there? Because I scour the articles and the stories and the publications so that I can bring that information to you. Maybe you don't have time to do that sort of thing, but you're interested in fitness and what's going on in the fitness world. So I want to bring to your attention a study that was recently released. And this actually is dated November 24th of this month, so it's very current. And the title of the article was "Popular Weight Loss Surgery in Teenagers Weakens Bones." I'm not at all a fan of surgical procedures as a tool for weight loss, unless an individual's health is seriously compromised. In many cases, the solution lies in making lifestyle changes. And I'm talking about nutritional habits. I'm talking about physical activity. I'm talking about changing your mental approach because a lot of this does have to do with that. So this article talked about a popular weight loss surgery. And again, keep in mind, we're not talking about adults. We're talking about teenagers here. All right. So childhood obesity, it's a major problem in the United States, actually worldwide, but primarily here in the United States. It's an epidemic. It's increased significantly over the last 10 years. All right. Sleeve gastrectomies is basically a common bariatric surgical procedure that's performed on both children and adults. So that's what this study was focusing on. when you're talking about a sleeve gastrectomy, about what happens is 75% of an individual's stomach is removed, and that's in an effort to restrict food intake and induce weight loss. Okay, it results usually in the shape of a stomach, which is basically round. By the time the surgical procedure is completed, it's in the shape of a tube or a cylinder or a sleeve. So that's why it's called a sleeve gastrectomy. And what happens is the procedure has been performed on adolescents and teenagers and that sort of thing. And the procedure has increased 100-fold between 2004 and 2014. So this has become more and more popular. And the reason being, I have my own underlying suspicions. Number one, surgeries cost money and they're expensive, and there's a lot of hands in the pot that tend to benefit when we're talking about surgical procedures. That's why they're so often prescribed as a solution to many of our ailments. So that's one. The other is the other option when you're talking about weight loss. It requires some effort, some diligence, some focus, some determination, and a lot of people don't want to go through that. So it may seem like a surgery is the quick, fast option. So that's my own spin on that. That's not exactly what the article said, but that's kind of what I was getting out of it as I was reading it. So anyway, in adults, for example, bariatric surgery can have long-term effects on bone, leading to higher fracture risk. So this is very critical when we're talking about this, because even in adults, when you've got bones that aren't as dense, as you age, bones naturally lose some of their density. So if you're exacerbating that by restricting the accumulation or maintenance of bone mass, then you're just making that situation worse. That's why a lot of times seniors are subject to fractures and breaks if they experience a slip and fall. So that's something to consider. During this study, they took 52 adolescents that were experiencing either moderate or severe obesity, okay? 26 of whom underwent this surgical procedure, the sleeve gastrectomy. The other 26 were in a control group. So a control group, basically nothing happens. They're just kind of going through the study without going through any type of surgical procedure, okay? The average age was about 17 and a half. So, and then their body mass index was typically about 45. So we're talking about individuals that are significantly obese. Actually, anything over 30 is considered to be obese. 45 puts you well into class 3 obesity. So these are very overweight individuals. Over the year after this study, they found that the adolescents who underwent the sleeve gastrectomy procedure lost an average of about 75 pounds, where there was no significant change in the control group because they hadn't gone through any kind of a procedure. They found that bone marrow fat, which is a component of bone marrow, decreased significantly in density in the lumbar spine. Okay, that's the lower spine basically, or the low back. Now what happens with this? While the surgical procedure is effective in terms of reducing weight and improving metabolic disorders, it has negative effects on bone. So even though it seems like this is a great option, a great alternative to get this weight off fast, there are typically going to be consequences when you're talking about surgical procedures. So I found this article very interesting just because of the popularity of it. And when you're talking about basically kids, exposing them to this kind of a surgical procedure, it's not something to be taken lightly. So I thought I wanted to share that with you, and hopefully you found that information interesting. Maybe you can share that with another individual. So this type of procedure, it's not just adults that have to be concerned with it. Now it's adolescents as well. All right, so that leads us to our topic for the day. And the topic for today is fitness anytime, anywhere, for anyone. I have over the years changed my approach to physical fitness in individuals. I've been doing this for about 19 years. And one of the things that I used to focus primarily on is, well, you got to be focused, which is important. You got to be determined, which is also important. You've got to make sure that you're setting the time aside. You got to set these goals. You got to get yourself into the gym, or whether if you're working out at home, you got to get yourself active. And it was more of an approach where you just kind of got to do it. What I've learned, particularly over the past 3 to 4 years, a lot of this this physical fitness, it's a mental thing. It's in the individual's mind and how they view physical fitness, how they view themselves, how they anticipate that others view them. So it's not just about, I got to get in the gym, I got to work out and that sort. The mind has to be right also, because if it's not, nothing else is going to fall into place. So how important is this to you? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Okay. What's keeping you from becoming physically fit, from becoming the optimal version of yourself? Usually when you have individuals that don't work out, but they know they work out, and everybody knows that you have to adopt healthy lifestyles. We know that we have to eat a certain way. We know that we have to be physically active. We know that we can't overindulge in alcohol, and drugs are bad and all those sorts of things, right? So what is it that's keeping us from doing this? When I do, it's been a while, but when I was doing my seminars and workshops, of course, a lot of that is gone by the wayside because of the virus. So now I'm doing more of that online. But when I do workshops and seminars and I'm in front of a large group, one of the questions that I will pose to the audience is, how many of you work out or exercise on a regular basis? And then I'll have some hands go up, right? Okay. After those hands go up, I'll kind of assess the room and I'll kindly ask the individuals to bring their hands back down. And then I'll ask the audience, of those of you that did not raise your hands, what is the reason for you not exercising and working out? Because I'm assuming that you all know that that's an important thing to do. And then I'll ask for feedback from the audience. Invariably, the most common response I get is, I don't have time. Right behind that is, I'm not really sure where to start. But number one, in the audience that I assess or poll, it's the issue of, I don't have time. Now, my contention is that if you want to make time for it, you're going to make time for it. Okay. If you want something bad enough, you're going to figure it out, right? It's the same way where people that want material goods, I got to have that name brand purse. I got to have those expensive shoes. I got to have that car, whatever the case might be. You'll find a way. Okay. If you've got someone that you're dating and you really want to spend time with them, you're going to find time to do it. Some kind of way you're going to carve out that period of time to make sure that happens. And the same pertains to fitness. So I'll ask the audience that. And my contention is that you can do it. Okay. You just might have to be creative. I mean, you can be the busiest executive in the world, but you can still find time out of that 24-hour period to dedicate toward yourself and improving your own level of health. So there are some goals that you want to shoot for when you're talking about fitness, anytime, anywhere, for anyone. And the title says it all, because, anytime that works for you. If it's early in the morning, fantastic. If it's in the middle of the day, go for it. If it's in the evening after everything is done and you've gotten back from work and you've taken care of the chores and the kids are all settled and that's your time, whatever works. Okay. The important thing is that it happens. So when you want to set up certain goals for yourself, certain benchmarks when it comes to physical fitness, number one, you want to make your goal for aerobic activity, and that's anything that's increasing that heart rate. Make a weekly goal of about 150 minutes, okay? If you're talking about vigorous aerobic activity, make the goal about 75 minutes during the week, okay? Or you can institute a policy or procedure where you're combining the two, vigorous and moderate intensity, okay? Whatever it is you want to shoot for those numbers. Set that goal. You know that this is something that's going to be beneficial to you. And now we've got a good starting point, okay? Even small amounts of physical activity, it's better than nothing. So maybe for some reason you can't get the full 150 minutes in of moderate activity. Listen, I'm happy with anything that you can do. All right, if 10 minutes is all you can squeeze out, hey, it's something. It's a starting point, okay? You're not being sedentary. You're taking some steps to improve your health. I like to see that. So, but you want to shoot for that limit. Try for 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity when you're talking about working out, okay? You want to break those periods of time up throughout the week so you can hit your 150-minute goal, okay? In terms of strength training, you want to do strength training. And here we're talking about body weight exercises, machine weights, free weights, whatever equipment that you might have around that you have access to. Even if you don't, you've got your body, and you can utilize body weight exercises to improve your overall level of health. You want to focus on each one of your major muscle groups 2 times a week if possible. Okay. Aim for a single set of exercises for each of those body parts. And you want to use a weight that's basically going to result in muscle fatigue after 12 to 15 reps. Then you have a recuperation period, and you go back to completing that set of that exercise, whatever it might be. So those are just some basic goals that you can set up for yourself. Strategies that you can use. Make a commitment to yourself, okay? Because not only is it going to benefit you, it's going to benefit those that depend on you, all right? Those that need you to be in good health, people that you need to be around for. So you want to make a commitment. How do you do that? Put it on the calendar, all right? Schedule your physical activity just like you would any other appointment. If your boss says you got to be at this meeting on a certain day at a certain time, what are you going to do? You're going to be there. Don't you think that your body requires that same kind of commitment? Of course it does. So you want to make sure that you treat this seriously. All right. I'm scheduling an appointment with myself in order to benefit my long-term health. I'm trying to make some serious and significant lifestyle changes. So that's the goal that I want to see you enact. If you need to become a part of a team, that's a great strategy. Now, I know that this is significantly limited, but I'm basically talking about like in the summers, I would participate in a softball league, all right? Indoor soccer or volleyball, basketball, that sort of thing. Now, again, this is significantly limited. So maybe maybe it's just you and one other person, and if you can get on a court or something, you're just shooting baskets or whatever the case might be, try that. But when you are part of a team, it kicks everything up another level, because not only is it about you, it's about your team. Because if you're not there, or if you're not in good shape, good condition, focused and ready to go, you're going to let everybody else down. So it lends to, again, that commitment level, and it's going to drive you to make sure that you stay on target and stay focused. If you do happen to join a club, a fitness, and a lot of clubs are still open, and I would advise, if you do that, make sure you utilize extra care, because we are still in the middle of a pandemic, and individuals sometimes don't do what they need to do in order not just to keep themselves safe, but to keep others safe as well. So make sure you find out what the club's policies are on cleaning and distancing, and making sure that safety protocols are enacted and put into place. If you feel comfortable with that, sign up maybe for a small group training class, or do it online, because there are a lot of great ones that are out there. Sometimes if there's a cost associated with that, maybe that's a motivational factor for you. I just paid X amount of dollars to participate in this thing. I don't want to waste my money. So maybe that'll keep you focused, keep your drive going, and make sure that you're staying on target. Wear an activity tracker. I love this thing. Okay, this is a Fitbit. It's the next level up. If you remember the old school pedometers, I mean, this thing does so much. It measures heart rate and how many calories I've burned, how many steps I've taken. There's timers on there and stopwatches, and that all kinds of features that you can utilize. And I'm going to remind myself to share some information about activity trackers at the end of this broadcast. So that's a great way to do it. So, seeing how far you've gone can motivate you in a lot of cases to stay fit. I hit 10,000 steps today. That is great. And the next day, you're only at 9,645. What can I do to get those extra steps in? I want to keep at my level, or I want to increase that. So fitness trackers are fantastic. Okay. Involve the family if you can. Okay. Make fitness a family affair. If it's walks that you're taking after dinner, or maybe before dinner, playing catch, riding bikes together, whatever is fun that's going to involve that family unit. Number one, it's going to create a more cohesive family structure. It's going to enact, especially if you got little ones, it's going to show them that, fitness is important to this family. And this is something that I'm coming up on, and something I'm learning as a child. So once they have those messages implanted in them, they're more likely to adhere with them and stick with them throughout their life cycle. So that's an important strategy that you can utilize. Maybe you can start your own lunchtime walking group. Whether you're walking outside and around the parking lot, or maybe you're doing flights of stairs in the building, there's a lot of creative ways that you can do that. And you can find some individuals that might want to participate with you. Maybe it's just 2 or 3 people, whatever. That's your walking group or your exercise group, whatever you want to call it. And you can all kind of play off one another because there's an accountability level for you. All right. So, I don't want to let the other team members down. So I got to be there. And there may be days where I'm not really feeling it, but maybe the other 2 are, and they're pushing you. Come on, we got to get this done. So that might be something that you want to do. If you're a pet owner, take more daily walks with your dog. Okay. If you don't own a pet, what do I do? But, I kind of like dogs, but I don't own a dog. Volunteer to walk your neighbor's dog, whatever you got to do. It gives you an opportunity. It gives you a reason for becoming active, okay, and avoiding that sedentary lifestyle and the habits that go along with it. Always recruiting someone that you can, again, partner with when you're talking about physical activity and exercise. That's a great way to do it. Plan your active outings. Okay, if you're talking about dating ideas, right now, dating options are very limited. Okay, there aren't any jazz clubs. I'm using jazz because I'm a big jazz fan, but there aren't any music venues that are open. There are no concerts, art galleries, movie theaters. In a lot of cases, your favorite restaurants, they're not available. Or if they are, it's in a carry-out function and that sort of thing. So we kind of have to be creative. So what's wrong with planning a date that revolves around maybe a hike at a local park or a forest preserve, or taking a family trip somewhere, going out and just getting some activity in and building the event around that. So these are times where we kind of have to step up and utilize more creative options. So this might be a great time to do that. Encourage others, and that can help you to start a new activity. So, maybe there's something you always wanted to try. Now's a great time to do it. Why not? And making sure that it revolves around physical activity could be a great way to keep you focused. So, and there are no time limits to this. You can do this whenever you want. Okay. Anyone can do it. Okay. And it really knocks down a lot of those barriers that some people perceive in their own minds to be restrictive in terms of how we can get fit and stay healthy. Okay. Break up your exercise times. It's great if you can get 30 minutes of continuous activity in, but a lot of times maybe you can't. Okay, some people only have, if they're exercising at work, they may only have a 30-minute break. Okay, and they can't utilize or dedicate that entire 30 minutes to exercise. If you got to break it up into 10-minute increments, do it. Why not? There's no rules there. There's no judgment that's being passed on it. So you have to be creative with that. If you want to step up your activity and make sure they're more vigorous at times, you only need to exercise half the time in order to meet your regular weekly requirements. Okay, so if you can basically cut that time in half by going a little harder in terms of your workout intensity. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. When you're at home, time spent at home does not have to be couch potato time. And a lot of us are at home right now. We're on vacation because it is the Thanksgiving holiday. So it does not mean that you have to lie around and be inactive, okay? Make fitness a priority at home because you can do this way. Wake up earlier, okay? If you can do this a little bit earlier than you normally would and use that extra time to maybe get on a treadmill or take a walk or to jog in place or perform squats on a chair, whatever kind of space you have. Use that time to do it. Okay, a few minutes early can be very beneficial in the long run. And those times, those minutes, those seconds, they all add up. Okay, make your chores count. If you got household chores to do and you're mopping that floor or scrubbing your bathtub, whatever the case might be, you're performing household chores. You do it at a pace that gets your heart pumping. Okay, so if you've ever swung a mop, and when I was a teenager, I used to mop the floors of a factory, right? And this was one of those big old string mops. And when it's soaked, that thing is heavy. So when you're swishing that thing around, it was like exercise, all right? So you can replicate that at home. There are no limitations to how creative you can be. If you've got outdoor work to do right now, tons of leaves are out there, and a lot of us that have lawns that we have to maintain. So utilize that, okay? That can be an exercise for you. Raking leaves, for example, helps to strengthen the arms and the back. Digging works the arms and legs. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Be active while you're watching TV. Now, I'm not the type that says watching TV is bad. What am saying is that too much of it and allowing that to result in a sedentary, regular lifestyle, that is bad. So become more active when you're watching TV. If you got a pair of hand weights, dumbbells and that sort of thing, maybe you can lift those weights, get some curls in, get some overhead presses in, whatever the case might be during your television show. If you happen to be lucky or fortunate enough to have a stationary bike or a treadmill, that sort of thing, utilize that. You can watch TV while you're on a treadmill. You see people doing it in the gym all the time. In fact, some treadmills have monitors on them that you can actually watch when you see those in a lot of gyms. So use that time to stay and remain active. One of the strategies that I like to use is, and I've done this with my own kids when they were coming up, every commercial break, we get up and we do something. So commercial breaks typically last about 3 minutes. So that's 3 minutes of exercise every time our favorite show that we're watching went into break. So we're up and we're jogging in place, or we're doing squats, or we got our jump ropes in because we're in the basement. We had high ceilings. So we're using that time to get exercise in. And you don't have to be, everyone doesn't have to do the same thing. Everyone can switch up. So you can kind of make a circuit where you got one person jumping rope, one person jogging, one person doing squats, one person doing lunges, one person doing sit-ups, whatever the case might be. Make it fun, okay? And utilize that time at home to get more activity in. You can use your errands to get some extra steps in, for example. A good example of this would be when you go to the grocery store or to the mall. Usually what happens when you're looking to park, what's taking place? Everybody seems to be looking for that spot that's closest to the door, okay? They don't want to walk as far. And that's just, I don't know if it's human nature, but it's just what you see all the time. As long as it's safe to do so, consider parking at the far end of the lot. That's going to give you some extra steps. If you've got to go up stairs to get to the level of that shopping mall or that store that you're visiting, whatever the case might be, avoid the escalator and the elevator if you can, and use those steps, okay? It's just an extra time, an extra opportunity to get some physical activity. If you're a commuter and you are fortunate enough to still be working at this time, maybe you're not able to work at home and you have to travel to your job and that sort of thing, and depending on what part of the country you're in, and weather conditions, you might want to walk or bike to work, as long as it's safe to do so, and the weather is appropriate. Okay. If you do ride the bus, here's another option: get off a stop or two early and walk the rest of the way, okay, or jog the rest of the way, whatever options are available to you. Take fitness breaks. What is a fitness break at work, and how do you do it? As opposed to going to the lounge and hanging out there with coffee or a snack, you might want to take a short walk, or if you've got space in your facility, whatever the case might be, finding a space where you can get some exercise in. If you happen to have an office, you can use that area to perform some physical activity, some exercises. So these are some additional strategies. If you do work in an office where there's a lot of individuals, what happens is I might have an individual or a coworker that's maybe 3 offices away, and I need something from that individual. And what am I going to do? I want to contact them. I shoot them over an email. As opposed to that, consider walking over to that person's office. Okay. Now, the downside of that is, depending on what you're doing, I don't have that physical documentation. Okay, I told you that I needed this done, and you get that in an email. So maybe you can follow it up later with a follow-up with an email that's basically covers the details that you talked about when you made that walk over to that coworker and talked with them about it. So you can still be professional, still get what you need to have done, completed, and increase that physical activity level at the same time. Again, it's all about creativity and focusing yourself on that goal that you're trying to accomplish. I'm trying to get healthier. I'm trying to bounce back from injury. I'm trying to get more activity into my everyday lifestyle so I can be around for my kids and my grandparents, and I'm not going to be saddled with different medications and burdening anyone, however the case might be. If you do happen to travel for work, you might want to plan ahead. Bring equipment with you if you have to. And I'm not talking about some big work benches or anything like that, or barbells or super extra heavy dumbbells. Simple jump rope. That can fit into a briefcase or a backpack. In some cases, you can stick it in your pocket, okay? Especially if you travel for it. So you can bring some basic things that's not going to push you over that weight limit if you do have to travel with suitcases and that sort of thing. Dumbbells are great. The smaller ones, like for example, this is just a little small 3-pound dumbbell, and they go from single pound up to the sky's the limit in terms of dumbbells. So you might want to keep that going. Another piece of equipment that I use, and I'm going to grab it real quick, and I'm a huge fan of these, resistance bands. Okay. The nice thing about these are they are compact. I have a determination that I can make in terms of options when it talks about density and the type of workout that I'm getting. This is the thinnest band that I have. This one is 10 pounds, but they go all the way up to 80, 90, 100-pound thickness in terms of resistance. So you can get really creative with these. I can work arms and legs. I can do back exercises. There's just a ton of things that I can do with resistance bands. So in fact, I'm going to dedicate a show to a resistance band workout. We're actually going to be working out with me as I perform different movements utilizing resistance bands. So that's something to look forward to. There's no single best way to fit physical activity into your day. All right, I want to make sure that that's clear. What I do recommend is that you do what works for you. Okay, but you need to make daily physical activity a habit that you can keep. Okay, there was a school of thought that if you do anything for 30 days, it becomes a habit. It's not actually true. Research has been conducted that shows that any activity that's performed consecutively for 66 days becomes a habit. So if you put that in your mind, you mark it on your calendar or your appointment book or your cell phone or whatever the case might be, and you stick with it and you do it over and over again, trust me, it's going to become a habit, and you won't feel right unless you have completed your physical activity, your exercise, whatever the case might be, before you go to bed. So stay with it. Don't get discouraged. Take some time, figure out what your goal is, what you're looking to accomplish, and then take the steps to do it and to make it happen. All right. So hopefully that was of benefit to you, something that you can actually use. But again, I'm going back to the start of that conversation. Start with a mental approach. Okay. Find out what it is that's keeping you, again, from being physically active, from exercising on a regular basis. Is it time? And if you do perceive it to be time, is it really time, or do I not manage my time properly? We all get 24 hours in a day, right? So how am I best utilizing the time that I do have? I need to prioritize what's important to me. Okay, is it chasing that dollar, or is it going out and having fun and partying, or is it making sure that my body is properly tuned up and ready to go? A lot of us spend more time and effort and finances into making sure that our vehicles are in good shape and in good working order, as opposed to making sure that our own bodies are in good shape and good working order. And that requires really some self-reflection. Okay, what's important to me? What do I want to accomplish? Okay, all right. So one of the things that I wanted to do in addition this week, and again, this show is evolving. What we're doing is constantly growing and changing. I wanted to focus in on an exercise of the week. And just randomly, I'm going to select different movements. And in some cases, they might be brand new, something that you're not familiar with, something that you have not tried before, but it's something that you can implement and work into your regular routine. Now, in upcoming shows, I'm going to be going through complete workouts, and we're going to be doing that together. But right now, I'm just going to focus on just an exercise of the week. And the reason that I picked the exercise that I'm going to demonstrate to you today is because it's one of the most common areas that I get behind abdominal development. So most people, when they say, what body part would you like to improve most? Typically, it tends to be the abdominals, the stomach. I want the six-pack. I want to lose this belly flab, that sort of thing. Okay, but right behind that typically tends to be arms. In particular, we're talking about biceps, right? So that's what people like to work on. So I'm going to show an exercise that you can use to focus not just on the biceps muscle, but also on the forearm. That exercise is called the crucifix curl. All right, so I'm going to show you really quickly how we are going to perform that exercise. So let me leave my chair. And hopefully I'm still in focus. I've got a couple dumbbells in my hands right now, okay? So what a crucifix curl, what I'm going to do is at my foot placement, the feet are about shoulder width apart with my toes angled out just slightly. From here, what I'm going to do is curl my dumbbells up and then elevate the shoulder. So I basically form like a T. It looks kind of like a goalpost, right? From here, what I'm going to do is bring those dumbbells out. I extend my arms. From here, I'm going to curl the weights back in. I want to make sure that my arms are as level as possible as I perform this movement in a smooth motion. This exercise works not only the biceps, but also the brachialis, which is the long head that runs down our biceps muscle. These are crucifix curls. Okay? So again, you can change the weight that you want to use, resistance. You can do these with resistance bands like the ones that I showed you, the elastic ones. You can also do this on a cable station at your gym if you happen to have one. Again, crucifix curls, they're a great exercise to add into your regular biceps routine. Give them a shot. I'd love to hear back from you and let me know what you think about this particular movement. And typically I get questions about, well, what kind of equipment are you using? These are just standard 10-pound dumbbells, so nothing crazy here. All right. Now, I had a conversation with my show producer, Mr. Jasper. You still there with us?
I am still here with you.
All right, great. So we had a conversation, and my producer is actually interested in getting involved in fitness on a regular basis. So I've been working diligently to put together an optimal training routine and regimen for him. Now, what's my reason for mentioning this? We all recognize, well, most of us, if you're listening to this program, you recognize that fitness is essential. And our show producer is no exception to that. We've had a conversation about, just improving levels of fitness and different things that we can do and strategies that we can incorporate into our everyday lifestyle. And I'm happy to announce that he's going to be joining me in working out and getting some physical activity in and improving his overall level of health. So we are all going to lend him every bit of support that we can. I know I'm going to. I know you're pulling for him also. So once he gets started on this regimen, we're going to do some daily check-ins, and I want him to share with us how he's progressing, how he's doing, how he's feeling, the impact that it's having on his life. So we're going to encourage him. Brother, I'm so glad that you're doing this, and I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, yeah, you got this. And the reason why I brought it out is because, remember I talked about accountability in a couple of the segments that I discussed during our show today. He is going to be accountable to us, okay? Because if we come back, 2 weeks from now, and I happen to ask him how the workout's going, and he says, well, I haven't really started yet, man, I'm sure he doesn't want to go through that.
No, I don't
either, because I'm going to say, what do you mean? Right, and how am I going to put together this routine for you, and you haven't done anything? What's the problem? So he's going to be accountable to us. I know, because of the kind of individual he is, that he's going to want it, that he's going to do it, he's going to stick with it, and he's going to get those results. All right, we're going to see to it as a family that that's going to happen. So I'm excited about that, and looking forward to getting started working out and exercising with him and putting together a plan, which is basically what I do for him. That's going to work for him, his lifestyle, and helps him to achieve those fitness goals that he has for himself. All right, so moving on, and wow, it's amazing how quickly time goes when we're talking about these kinds of topics.
Quick.
I know. It really does. It really does. Wow. It's amazing. It's great time, though, because I love the opportunity to share with you and engage with you. So what I wanted to get into next is that I've got something great for each and every one of you. I got a great opportunity. What I would like to do, and I mentioned, remember I said a good way to keep yourself accountable is the utilization of a fitness tracker. Well, I'd like to give one of our, or maybe two, depending on how things go, listener an opportunity to win their own fitness tracker. What's involved? You don't have to do anything except go onto one of our social media sites and register. Basically, subscribe or like the page. All you got to do, and I'm going to put this information up. Hopefully you can see it. You're going to go onto Facebook, okay? And you're going to go onto the Vanguard Exercise Management Facebook page. Once you're there, give the page a like, okay? The other option, if you're an Instagrammer, go to Vanguard MGT1. Again, that's Vanguard MGT, followed by the number 1, and subscribe to the page. Become a follower of Vanguard Exercise Management. That's the page there, okay? Once you're there and you've done that, what I'm going to do between now and next week, I'm going to select an individual at random, someone that has become a new subscriber or a new page liker, and allow them to win a free fitness tracker that's going to help to keep you focused and motivated and on track and in a position to reach those goals. Doesn't require any fees or anything like that. I just want, that's my gift to the audience. I want to see you engaged and keeping up with the latest information I'm going to provide on those sites. And as a reward for doing that, I want to offer you an opportunity to win your own fitness tracker. So I'm going to announce the winner next week. So make sure you're here for that. Hopefully you're the lucky person that's going to win that device. All right. The next show that we have coming up, I'm going to give you the title now and talk about the topic that we're going to be covering is for episode 3 is pandemic fitness. Okay. As I don't have to tell you that we're all going through some significant challenges right now dealing with this pandemic. So we've got gyms that are closed. Maybe individuals are concerned about working out or exercising in public spaces. People are sheltering in place in some instances. No worries, we got you covered. Well, during this episode next week at 11 o'clock a.m., just like today, same location, same station, same opportunities to view the information and watch our broadcast. I am going to show you how you can get going and get and remain fit or become fit. You know, if you're not in the kind of condition that you want to be in, despite us being in the center or the middle of a pandemic and experiencing COVID-19 and all the problems that it's causing. So our next episode is pandemic fitness, and I definitely want to see you here for that. We're going to be talking about different strategies, tactics, opportunities that you can use to make sure that you remain physically fit. Because studies have shown that individuals that even when they do contract the disease, the effects are minimized depending on the health level of that individual. Healthier people just do better with the disease. Okay, it's still not a pleasant experience, but typically those aren't individuals that need to be intubated or hospitalized or a significant period of time or have the more significant effects of the virus. So we're motivated. We've got a reason to make sure that we are in physical condition because this pandemic has given us that information. It has told us that, listen, if you didn't have an opportunity or reason to want to be fit, you definitely got one now. So consider, make sure you tune in next week. Again, it's 11 a.m. Right here on WDHR. You're going to be able to see that broadcast. Again, rebroadcasts are going to be available on the Vanguard Exercise Management Facebook page and the Vanguard Exercise Management Instagram page. So that information is there for you. I would also be very interested in getting your comments. So once you are a page subscriber or a page follower, if it's Facebook, send me your feedback, send me your questions, comments. I'm also going to give you my email address so that we can have direct correspondence. Here is the email address. It's vanguardmgt@yahoo.com. That's VANGUARDMGT@yahoo.com. Send me an email. Send me a comment in the Facebook section where you can do so, and I will definitely make sure I get back to you. I love getting fitness questions, different health and wellness topics that you're interested in. And in fact, I may even utilize some of the information that you share in a future broadcast and build a broadcast around it. So feedback is very important. This is a station that's run by basically you, the listeners, and with you in mind. So with that, we've basically reached about the end of our show. And again, I want to send a big shout out, a big thank you to everyone that took the opportunity to listen to us here today. To our producer, Mr. Koonce Jasper, you've done an outstanding job as usual. Really appreciate everything you've done to make this show a success. We're going to continue to grow it exponentially. I hope you all, again, enjoyed a fantastic holiday, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. So remember the Vanguard motto: train hard, eat clean, stay focused. Until next time, take care.
Peace.